All right, let's jump right into this. This video is going to be about how to flip on MLB The Show 25 and get rich and get tons of stubs just by flipping without spending any money and without spending too much time playing the game either. So first thing I'll do is give myself a little bit of credit here. You saw the team. I have the entire live series collection done. I have all of these spotlight ones done. I have Scott Rowland, and I practically have Ted Williams if I just finish some Team Affinity stuff that I've been too lazy to do. So I and you can see I'm sitting at almost 300,000 stubs, and I have some in the market as well. So I I have a lot of stubs, and I've spent a lot of stubs, and I'm gonna show you guys how I've made these stubs, and I'm gonna explain it to you like you've never played the game before and you don't know anything about how the marketplace works. And then by the end of the video, I'm gonna teach you what to look for and how to figure out what to flip on your own. So um, if if you already know, what a buy and sell order is and how all that works. Hopefully, I'm gonna have some timestamps or something like that, so that you can skip ahead and skip all that stuff at the beginning for beginners. But I'll get into it. First things first about the basics of flipping on MLB The Show. You need to download the app. It's super easy. Just download it's MLB The Show 25 or MLB The Show companion app, something like that. If you just search MLB The Show on the App Store, it'll pop up. Download it, and you log in with your PlayStation or your Switch, Xbox, whatever account it is, and then you can get on the app and you can put in buy orders and sell orders and access the marketplace through the app. So that'll make it so that you can flip and access the marketplace on the go. You don't have to be on the PlayStation. So like for example, I'll be in the gym working out, and in between sets, I'll just pull out my phone and put some orders in and flip a little bit. So you could do this waiting in line somewhere, where because you always got your phone on you. It's the big 2-5. Everybody's got their phone glued to their waist. So uh, you need to download the app, and then um, after that, I'm going to teach you the basics of what a buy order and what a sell order is, because I know when I first started playing MLB The Show in MLB The Show 21, I had played like 2K and Madden before, and so I knew how those marketplace worked. Those are super simple. And MLB The Show, I was dead confused. My friend tried to explain it to me. It was so confusing. I had no idea how it works. So here it goes. I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna do, or you know what? Yeah, we'll do it with this Mickey Mantle card. So, no, we won't. I'm gonna do here. We'll just do live here. Gunnar Henderson. I'll teach you on Gunnar Henderson. So what do these numbers mean? Buy now, sell now, buy order, sell order. What does all this mean? So what will happen is you pull a Gunnar Henderson out of a pack, or someone will. There will be an option to quick sell, and then a lot of times, not right now because there's no buy orders, but and that's the column on the right is buy orders. But it'll be quick sell or sell now, and sell now and buy now is through the marketplace. Quick sell is just like any other game, super simple. If it says quick sell for 3,000, you sell it to the CPU. You just erase the card and you get 3,000 stubs, and there's no tax, nothing like that. So you just get your money. But if you do sell now, then what is happening is somebody will put in a buy order for 3,000 stubs or 3,001, whatever. Someone will put a buy order in, and they'll place the order. And now you see my order there on the right. Someone will pull a Gunnar Henderson from a pack, and then they're going to hit sell now, and they will sell it to me. So my stubs are already on Gunnar Henderson. I already put my stubs to it, but I don't have this Gunnar Henderson until somebody is going to hit sell now on the card, and then they will get my 3,000 stubs taxed. They will be taxed on it. The seller gets taxed, and then I will receive the Gunnar Henderson. But and there it goes through. And here I'll put another one in. um, to explain something else. So I have, and it just went through right away. Okay. All right, there we go. So I have an order in on him, and now I can go to my active orders. Now you see this buy order for Gunnar Henderson here at the top. I can cancel this, and now I got my stubs back, and that order is gone. So that's how a buy order works, and that's how buy orders and sell now. That's how that works. But if you pull Gunnar Henderson from a pack, what you could also do is go to the marketplace and instead of sell now or quick selling him, you can put him up for 3,398. And now you're going to undercut the sell orders here on the left, and then you hit finalize order. And now you see my order right there. Now, when somebody wants to buy a Gunnar Henderson, if they don't want to wait, and if they don't want to put a buy order in and they don't want to wait, or maybe they don't understand it, so they just hit buy now, and they buy Gunnar Henderson, then that's when my order is going to go through. When somebody wants to buy him and get him instantly, that's when my buy order or my sell order will go through. So that's kind of the basics there. I hope I explained that well of what buy and sell orders are. Now, next part of my basics that I'll be teaching is the tax. This is pretty standard in every game with the marketplace I've ever played, any of the sports games. There's always a tax. It's like, for example, that 3,398. I put it in there. I want to sell it for 3,398. So somebody's going to have to yep, there it goes through right there. Somebody's going to pay. So I just got 3,058 stubs, but somebody paid 3,398. And so the game is going to take 10% of every transaction. And those stubs will just be erased. 10% of everything. So when you're flipping stuff, you want to make sure on the app and on here, if you put in an order, you want to make sure you see what it comes out to, or a lot of times like 3,400, or you can always round it by a little bit. I mean, these are numbers that are super easy to do mental math in your head. You just knock a zero off 3,400, and then it's going to be a tax of 340. So then there's a 60 stub differential there. So that's how taxes work. You always want to be mindful of those. Either just do quick mental math before you do it, and then double check with it'll always tell you the number once again on the app and on the games marketplace. You'll always see the number. So just always make sure that you're selling it for more than you bought it. Your flipping's not really that useful if you're losing stubs. So there's that. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about, I'll back out of here. The next thing about the basics of flipping is gaps. So this is how flipping works. I call it gaps. You'll see there's a gap between the buy now and the sell now of every card, which once again, sell now is the highest buy order. Buy now is the lowest sell order. Oh, and I don't think I explained this as well as I should have earlier. When you put in a sell order, just like the buy order, you can cancel it. And instead of getting your stubs back, you get the card back. So until your order goes through, you can always cancel it and essentially get a refund. So that'll be of important note later. But these gaps, you're looking for big gaps. And now, you see a 18,000 stub gap for this Mickey Mantle card. But, well, first of all, this wouldn't be a good example because this guy, I suppose I have the stubs to do it, but you're putting 150,000 into this to flip them. So it's, yeah, I'll explain later why this wouldn't be good, but for the purpose of the gap, you sell them for 171,000. That gap of 18,000 or whatever is not really that much anymore. You're only making about 900, and this price is going to fluctuate too much. So that's gaps. So, for example, I'll go back to the Gunnar Henderson. The gap for this Gunnar Henderson, you're able to is about 400 with a tax of about 340. So you'll make about 60 stubs each flip. And so that's gaps. So gaps are just that you're looking for big differences um, in between the buy now and the sell now, and and you kind of have to keep in mind tax while you're doing it. Kind of do some quick mental math, or just look at the numbers. So that's the basics of flipping. That's how to flip, buy orders, get the app, tax, gap. Now you might be saying, okay, now I might understand how to put orders in, but what in the world do I flip? So I'm going to be giving you some of my favorite cards to flip. Um, my favorite cards to flip, and then later I will explain how to find good cards to flip on your own, so that you don't have to rely on a YouTube search or an Instagram page to tell you what to flip, and then you're already behind. This way, if you know what to look for, you can stay ahead of the trend, and you can flip cards uh, before a bunch of other people catch on, and then the gaps aren't as big, because the more people that are flipping, the tighter those gaps are going to get, until eventually there is no gap and you'll be losing money. So some of my favorite cards to flip, and you can put these filters in on the app as well, but I like to flip live series diamonds, and I like to go for the lowest ones, the 85s. Now you could also do a lot of these 86s and stuff as well, but I just always do the 85s, and you'll almost always, especially at this point in the year, and this is being made the night before the All-Star content drops, and at this point in the year, and for most of the year, these cards, these low live series diamonds, you will be able to buy them for their quick sell value. So you'll be able to buy, except with live series cards, there's a roster update tomorrow, so people think Garrett Crochet is going to go up. So obviously you can't get him, but a lot of guys you'll be able to buy for quick sell value, and then a lot of times you'll be able to make 50 to over 100 stubs per flip, depending on what it's like. This Tyler Glass right now, if I was flipping him, I'd be making over 100 stubs per flip. But typically with these live series diamonds, you'll be able to buy them for 3,000 and then sell them for around 3,400 and make a little over 50 stubs a flip. And so these cards are good, especially around this time in the year, but they're always good to flip, and they're always there. There's always plenty of them. So if there's some guys, like if someone has a ton of orders in for Max Fried, there's a million other live series diamonds that are low overall that you can flip as well. And then another thing that's really good to flip is going to be whatever the like newer drops. I like to flip their lowest round cards. So for the prime, like the base, their lowest overall cards that are on the auction place, like these cards here, these prime 92s, these guys are going to be good to flip, because so many people are getting these packs right now and doing the program, getting the pack in there. A lot of people are buying the pack in the marketplace. These packs are being pulled a lot right now, and so your orders will be able to go through quickly, because a lot of people are getting these players. But then your sell orders will also go through quickly, because a lot of people are trying to get these collections done, and a lot of people are trying to get a collection done, and they need Bill Mizorowski, and maybe they don't know how the marketplace works, or maybe they just think it's worth 500 stubs to have him right now, so they'll just put in a buy. They'll just buy now instead of putting in an order. And so that's a good way your orders will go through a lot. And that's I forgot to mention it with the live series cards. Obviously, people are always pulling those from all sorts of packs. And then also people are always trying to do collections, get their favorite player. So there's a lot of demand and a lot of supply for those cards, so they'll move really quick. And that's the same thing with the low round, lowest overall new collection program cards, whatever you want to call it. So right now, these actually are not good to flip at all. You will be losing stubs most of the time. For whatever reason, their gaps are really tight right now. I'm not totally sure, but normally they're pretty good. What I'll do, like the All-Star content tomorrow for me will drop at 2 p.m. And the market for those will be kind of unstable just because, so many people getting packed and then so many people want to get their favorite players right away. So those cards aren't going to settle down until like late that night or the next day, and then pretty much within a day max, all of the lowest overall auctionable cards in those packs are going to be, you can buy them at quick sell value. You can buy, these guys at 5,000 stubs or whatever it is for the guys. So you'll be able to get those cards super easy, super cheap, and then they'll move really fast. And then now you might be saying, well, flipping diamonds, I don't have that many stubs right now. Maybe you only have 10,000, 20,000 stubs, maybe even less. And so it's kind of hard to flip those guys because you don't have enough stubs. You can't just put in 20 orders, So then the other thing to do is to go to Live Series Commons. And I don't know if there's a way to do the filter on here. Yeah, there's not. There's a filter you can put on the app though for price, and you can do minimum and maximums for buy orders and sell orders. So you can filter to guys that you can buy them. You'll be able to buy them for 5 stubs, put those orders in, and then that they're gonna sell for over 30 stubs. So I'm trying to remember. I think I have. Yeah, here's the guy I'm flipping right now. So I used the filter on the app to find a bunch of guys and sorted through, and I started flipping him. I don't think I have any orders in for him right now, but you can buy him for 5 stubs. And that order is probably going to go through in the next like 30 seconds. And then I can sell them for 48 stubs, and I'm going to make 43 stubs after you've taken tax and then how much it costs, 38 stubs. So I'm making 38 stubs profit. And so it's not as many stubs. Yeah, there's that buy order. I'm sure that sell order will go through soon. It's not a ton of stubs, but it is really, really good for when you don't have a lot of stubs to play with. Maybe you just made maybe you just bought a really expensive card, just did an expensive collection, or maybe you don't sit with a lot of stubs, whatever it is, or you just haven't been playing the game long. And so commons are really, really good to do if you don't have a lot of stubs, or even I still do them, and I have almost 300,000 stubs, and I will still flip commons just because they'll move really quick, and you can put in 100 orders and forget about it because it doesn't mean anything. It's 500 stubs. You're not going to notice it, and so you're able to put a lot of orders in it. Kind of just put the orders in, forget about it, come back in a while, and it's like it's not like you're missing any stubs or anything. And then these commons are good because obviously people pull a ton of commons from packs and just quick sell or sell now right away. And then a lot of people will buy them for collections. And especially with these commons, people are going to think like, yeah, I don't care about 40 stubs. I'm just hitting buy now. And so they don't put it in order, and they just do buy now while they're doing the collections. So that's a really, really good way. Another really good thing to flip there. And then I'm going to teach you what to stay away from when you're flipping. So what I would try to stay away from when I'm flipping cards is cards that or well, I guess you wouldn't know, but cards that are going to decline in value. For example, the Chipper Jones, these XP reward players, or ranked reward program players, anything like that, to where the longer they're in the game, the more people are going to earn them, and they're not already at quick sell value. I would not flip them, because like this Chipper Jones, he's just going to keep going down. Like every other XP reward path boss does, he will eventually, he's just going to go down a little bit every day until he's like 20,000 stubs. And so you might put in 5 orders or something, and then come back the next day and he's gone down 3,000, and now with tax, now you're going to be losing money on that, and you can't just wait for it to go back up, because you won't. So I would stay away from cards like that are going to decline in value over time. And then next thing I would stay away from, guys like pretty much any of these. Anybody who their sell now value is significantly higher than their quick sell value, I would stay away from them, because these guys, they could put in a June spotlight pack in a conquest, and now this card's going to go down 3,000, 4,000 stubs, and now with tax you're going to sell it, and now you're losing stubs. So I would stay away from these guys. Where if you were buying him for, let's see, what's the minimum? If you were buying him for 5,000 stubs and he gets put in a pack, you're still going to be able to flip them and either make a profit or just quick sell all of them, and you lost 0 stubs. So I would stay away from, once again, guys who have a high sell now value that's significantly higher than their quick sell. Now, if it's a couple of stubs, like for example, that Gunnar Henderson, I'll keep going back to him. If Gunnar Henderson has a sell now price of 3,004, it's just a couple stubs, that's not a big deal. I don't worry about that much, just because, if you put in 20 orders and, oh well, something happens, and now you have to quick sell them, okay, you lost a couple stubs. It's not a big deal. It won't matter. You won't even notice it. And then next thing I would do, I would stay away from, is live series cards that aren't common, and a roster update is coming up. So like if you're flipping any of these 85s, I would be careful with them. I'm gonna, before I go to bed, make sure I have all of the cards I put in, all of the live series diamonds I have flipping right now. I'm gonna make sure all of my orders are cleared and that I quick sell everything I have left, because like this Gunnar Henderson, I'm flipping this Gunnar Henderson a bit. Where is he? Here he is. He could very well go down to gold, and before I go to bed, if I put in 20 orders to buy him, expecting to sell him the next day and make stubs, and then he goes down to an 84, where now all of a sudden, instead of making stubs, I just halved my stubs. I just turned 60,000 that should have been 61,000 or whatever. I just turned that into 30,000 stubs. So that's another thing to be careful of. And then I would also be careful of, say I'm flipping Alex Bregman here. If I see someone has, and this will be a more common issue when you're flipping commons, but if I see that someone has a ton of orders in, like this guy at 79 orders for 3,400, obviously that is one person. Now if you're putting in buy orders or something and you see somebody has 100 buy orders in for 3,000, I would just try to find someone else. It's not a big deal, but the only thing is it can kind of be a pain in the butt if you put in 20 orders at 3,001 stubs, and then a couple hours later you come back ready to, and you put all your orders went through, you have 20 Alex Bregmans, and you put in some sell orders at 3,449 like this guy did, or 3,450 like this guy did, put in 8 orders, and then you forget about it, come back in a couple of hours and get back on your phone and you're expecting to see your stubs go back up, and you see your stubs are still low, and you're like, well, what happened? Why did none of my orders go through? Well, that guy, all of his buy orders went through too, and he put in 100 sell orders, 1 stub less than you. So now you either have to wait for a long time for your orders to go through, or you're gonna have to cancel all of your orders and then put them in again. So that's just kind of a pain in the butt. So it's just easier to deal with if you see someone has an absurd amount of orders in, just find something else. And now, the other thing I would stay away from, my last tip for what to avoid when you're looking at what to flip is, this is less specific, but cards with low velocity. So an example of that, and when I mean velocity, I don't mean Hobie Milner who throws a sub 90 fastball. I mean cards that when I'm talking about velocity, I mean how quickly they move through the market. So you can think about it, just the supply and demand. How often are people pulling these from packs right now, and how often are people buying these right now? So, an example of cards with high velocity would be like the newest collection's lowest round cards. They're going to have high supply. People are pulling them from packs and selling them a lot, and people are buying them a lot. How quickly they move through the market. Live series cards, all of these have high velocity. Something that would have low velocity might be something like a 85 Joe Mauer, who there is no way to get him right now unless you're playing an old conquest that you haven't done yet, which you should have been done. There's no way to get him other than doing that, and maybe some people are buying him right now, but there's just nobody. There's not a high demand and there's not a high supply, so that's something I would stay away from. Any cards that are old and like Tops Now, like we go back to like some of these guys from April, these guys are not going to be going through and flying through the market, so I would stay away from guys like that. And then, maybe like these old pipeline cards, like nobody's, where's one that you can buy? Like, yeah, this Drake Baldwin, very few people are going to be pulling him from a pack. Very, very few people are going to be buying him right now. So your orders are just going to take forever to go through. So that's what I would avoid. Now, an overview and kind of how to find things to flip on your own. Hopefully at this point you're kind of getting it. What to look for if you want to figure out what to flip. You want to look for cards that have high velocity. So look at cards that have high velocity. They're going to move through the market quickly. So, maybe some of these summer guys, they're going to move through the market quickly. You want high velocity. So once again, high supply, people are pulling them from packs, and people are wanting them. People are buying them a lot. You want high velocity. Something I like, the other main thing, obviously gaps, the amount of stubs you're getting. I mean, that should be pretty obvious in flipping and making stubs is you want to worry about how many stubs you're making. If you're making, I would say like less than 20 stubs a flip, I mean, at that point, there's just no point. I mean, think about it. It's like every time you put in an order, you're making 10 stubs. Like, I guess it's better than nothing, but it's really not that good. But one thing I really, really like to do, and I'm big on, and it's low risk. I like to invest in low risk guys and flip them. So that's why I almost exclusively will flip cards that I can buy for their quick sell value. And so by doing this, there's low risk. There's just, if I buy this Hal Newhouser at 5,000 stubs, there is no way for me to lose stubs. At worst, at very, very worst, I wasted time putting it in order because I can just, we're going to have to go to the inventory. I can just come here. What is he, a tiger? Nope. Well, I don't know what he is, but, here, we can do here. Series Prime. Where's Prime? But at very worst, I bought him for 5,000. Here we go. I will be able to quick sell him, quick sell one for 5,000. Boom, I got my stubs right back. I didn't lose a thing. And now by buying them at the quick sell amount, not only are you eliminating any risk, you cannot lose stubs. It's impossible. Their quick sell value will never change. It's based on their overall. What that's also doing is it allows you to be very liquid with your flipping and with your what you have in the marketplace. So what I mean by that, if you don't know what that means, is you can liquidize everything. In other words, all of your orders, you could just go in and cancel them. What am I doing? Here we go, my orders. You can just go in, like these Jackson Merrills, I could go in, cancel every single one of these orders, and then quick sell every single duplicate, and then I would have exactly as many stubs as I started with. So say you don't have a lot of stubs to play with, and you put 60,000, you have 50,000 stubs, and you put all of your stubs into the marketplace, flipping, and then one of your favorite players gets a new card, and you really want to buy it, or there's something happens to where you want your stubs quick. You can just cancel all your orders, quick sell everything, have all your stubs. So you can, say tomorrow for the All-Star stuff, one of my favorite players gets a card. I really want that card, and I want it now. I can just have it now. I can get all my stubs. So that's what I look for. Once again, for when you're looking on your own for what to flip, look for high velocity, high supply, high demand. Look for low risk. So then you cannot lose stubs, and you will be liquid. And then look for big gaps. Obviously, it should be the obvious one. And then fourth and most important is it is always going to be changing. Typically, the same card or the same cards won't be the best for more than a week. Like these guys, I was making great stubs flipping these. I was making like 150 stubs every single flip. I was flipping these for a while, and now all of a sudden they weren't good anymore. Not enough people are buying them, so I quit flipping those. And so it's always changing. You have to know what to look for, so that when stuff stops working, you can find something else that's good. So that's there's my overview there. Once again, hopefully I have timestamps so you can jump around a little bit and find what's useful. If you enjoyed this, maybe run up this video, and I'll make some more MLB The Show videos in the future. We'll see. And that, I'll flex the team here as I leave. So that is it. That is how to get rich on MLB The Show 25 and pretty much any MLB The Show ever.